Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Fatherless Day for 2010. The first thing I want to do here this morning is say thank you. Thank you so very much for all of you who are here who've probably taken a day off of work. I know there's a number of you in the audience who've driven literally hours to be here with us today, so I want to say thank you. Your time, your effort, and your contribution to be here today, it is a very significant contribution to Illinois Fathers and to the mission that we are trying to achieve. Speaking of contributions, I don't like to talk about money, but I will here quickly. We are in the midst of a fundraiser, and so far it's been very successful. I'd like to at first thank all of you who have contributed thus far. Despite what the judges have done to you, despite the oppressive child support orders that we are under, despite the judges making many of us pay unbelievably for the attorney's fees for the person that chose to take our children away from us, many of you have chosen to dig deep and contribute to our fundraiser. So thank you very much. And for any of you who haven't, I'd certainly encourage you to consider doing so today. No amount is too small. During the past 12 months, this group has been very active. Probably our most visible effort has been our court watch efforts, which we've done in different corners throughout the state. This is a thing that we've actually learned and copied from our opposition, and it's a very simple concept. When one of our brothers, sometimes a lady, it's not always a man, but when one of our fellow members is in the court system, whether they are trying to desperately hold on to their children, retrieve their children, possibly they're trying to secure some meaningful parenting time or what the courts call visitation, we will go into the courtroom with them. We will sit in the courtroom and we'll send a powerful message to the judge when we do that. We let the judge know that today the veil of secrecy that you have enjoyed for decades in your secretive courts does not exist. You have witnesses here today, witnesses to testify about what you do to this father and to his kids and ultimately to that father-child relationship. I myself am a churchgoer. I go to church. I always try to draw a parallel between court watch and going to church. I feel like my effort, my time spent doing court watch for a fellow member is a very holy, a very godly, a very charitable thing to do for someone else. Church is good, but frankly, I think court watch is maybe a little bit better. Typically, if I do court watch, I stay home and drink coffee on Sunday morning. If you've not done court watch yet, I'd encourage you to try doing this maybe once or twice a year. It's a good way to meet fellow members, meet new friends, and it does give you a good feeling like you're doing something very, very beneficial for the other member. Many of our members believe that court watch is a good thing, but not the final solution. Many of our members believe that our problem and our ultimate solution lies in the building directly behind me. Probably the most frequently asked question we receive at Illinois Fathers is, when are you going to promote a shared parenting bill? When are you going to introduce and push shared parenting legislation? As a board, we initially decided that before we go storming into the state capitol and demanding shared parenting legislation, we first need to build some credibility, what you might call street cred, and initially help to stop a bill that is detrimental to non-custodial parents. On March 10th, the opportunity presented itself. Myself and another board member, Mr. General Parker, I don't see him, but he'll be speaking later today. We came to Springfield. We sat in on a House committee. We gave testimony at this committee. To make a long story short, eventually the bill was withdrawn, but more importantly, after we gave our testimony, we sat there at that committee and we watched the different members of this committee start talking about divorced dads and the needs that these divorced fathers have, the hardships they face. We sparked that debate and we left that committee thinking, this is not that difficult. For decades, we've been coming into this building by ourselves, talking about me, my ex, my judge, my kids, and it's not been getting us anywhere. When we get together, when we show the people in Springfield and our judiciary some solidarity, when we show them that we're working together, when we show them that we're getting organized, then they start to pay attention to us like they did on March 10th. So That was a big victory. To ultimately answer the question, though, when is Illinois Fathers going to promote a shared parenting bill? We've decided that when we get 100 people to show up for an event, whether it's today, Fatherless Day next year, a court watch we do sometime in the future, a Save Our Families rally like we recently did in downtown Chicago, a candlelight vigil that we sometimes do. When we get 100 people to show up for an event, we will feel like we are strong enough, active enough to come to Springfield and give it a try and hopefully successfully get some shared parenting legislation passed. So that's the answer to that very, very frequently asked question. Another thing I'd like to talk about is the Illinois Fathers Shared Parenting Petition. If you'd like to get a copy of this, it's on our website. It's also been linked to in our most recent newsletters. The Illinois Fathers Shared Parenting Petition, it's brief, it's to the point, it's concise, it is not militant. I see member David Ivan here, he has a number of them to pass out. The petition explains what is causing so much father absence today. And again, it's not runaway fathers, it's throwaway fathers, it's forced father absence. The petition explains that. And the petition explains and asks, would you sign on to this? Would you be willing to instead opt for a system in this divorce-on-demand culture that we live in that allows the father, the non-custodial parent, much more time than the current standard of every other weekend? We have well over 200 members. If we could get each member to get just 2 ministers, 2 preachers, 2 educators, people that run boys and girls clubs, anybody who has a notable position where they work with children or work with families, take this petition to them. And keep in mind, we don't necessarily want to walk away from them and be all upset and say that, you know, hey, this person didn't sign the petition, so therefore they're against fathers fulfilling their responsibility. We want them to sign the petition, so keep that in mind. Be tactful about it. Present it to them. Give them plenty of time to mull it over and think about it. It's the first time they've been presented with something like this. So, again, Mr. David Ivan, who will be speaking next, he has the petitions. And if you'd like to get one, you could get one from him, or you could also get them off of our website. There's much to do, a lot of work to be done. During the next 12 months, we have high hopes. One thing that we've just started right now, it's just a concept. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up because it is just a concept, and we formed a committee, but it is a legal help services type of concept for a father who is trying to find more time with his kids or trying to deal with oppressive child support or maybe trying to get child support reduced due to a job loss, or possibly he's trying to find shared parenting with his kids. We're trying to set up a legal services network where a father who has very limited funds can go to and get that kind of help. And by the way, the need for that was discussed at that House committee meeting that I talked about earlier. So the need is definitely there, and we hope to fulfill that need.